Hello everyone, I'm Peter Towers, Managing Director of ESS BIZTOOLS. Welcome to this members briefing today. If you have any issues that are concerning you relative to ESS BIZTOOLS or what's happening in the marketplace for the delivery of alternative services or anything else, can you please type your comments in to your computer and send them through to me. If you're watching this recording at a later time that's more convenient to you, and there's any issues that arise that you would like to have further discussion on, can you please send me an email, peter@essbiztools.com.au. No one sent me any questions at this stage or comments, so we might move on, but please remember, if you've got some issues that you would like to discuss, please send them through to me. Some of the issues that have arisen in recent times relative to business advisory services that I thought you might be interested in us having a review of include the CommBank Accounting Market Pulse report. This report was released in early May this year. It is quite comprehensive. It was based on interviews that they undertook with a number of accounting firms all over Australia in different categories, large, medium, and small sizes, to get feedback. And what they decided was that there was a very high rating for business advisory services and the concept that accounting firms were going to be committed to diversifying services. Now, this is the sort of activities that we envisaged at ESS BIZTOOLS that our subscribers are involved in. Obviously, the delivery of business advisory services and the diversification of services seem to go together. So I hope that you are underway in being able to do that in your firms. The identification of business advisory services as the area of significant growth lines expected in the next 12 to 18 months was so identified by 81% of the leading firms, and that's the Commonwealth Bank's definition, and 67% of the firms they described as lagging firms. To give you some appreciation, if you haven't read the report, the leading firms also identified tax consulting, and they said 62%, but only 29% support by the lagging firms. Tax compliance had a rating of 57% by the leading firms and 29% by the lagging firms. There was also ratings given to cybersecurity and technology consulting, risk management, which is also very close to our heart on the products we prepare within business advisory services, external statutory audit, internal audit got 29%, and 14% from lagging firms. And property advisory, 14% of the leading firms identified it. So the upshot of all this was that a high number of firms, 81%, significantly higher than any other category, identified business advisory services. What does that mean to your firm as a subscriber to ESS BIZTOOLS? I think it means that over the next 12 to 18 months, if everyone follows through with what they told the consultants who conducted this review, is that there's going to be more competition in the marketplace. So as your firm has already committed by paying a subscription to ESS BIZTOOLS, I hope you're really out there making sure that your firm is well known in your marketplace for wanting to deliver a broader range of professional services. The other interesting comment, which is on the same page of the report, which is page 17, was that they asked, who's going to diversify? The highest rating was 90%, which was attributed to the leading firms from organic growth. And 71% of the lagging firms also identified organic growth. Developing new services received a rating of 67% from the leading firms and 57% from the lagging firms. Hiring of new staff with non-accounting skills was also seen as a diversification activity, and 52% of the leading firms identified that, and 24% of the lagging firms. The final figure is the interesting one. The firms were asked, will they not be diversifying services? The response from the leading firms was zero. So none of the none of the leading firms identified that they would not be diversifying services. In other words, they would be diversifying services. And only 5% of the lagging firms identified that they would not be diversifying services. So there's a tremendous response from the accounting firms that were surveyed in this report by CommBank about diversifying services. Now, it doesn't mean that all of these services are going to be business advisory services. It could be financial planning. It could be audits. It could be risk management type areas as a separate key item altogether. But it does give you an appreciation, I hope, that there's going to be a lot of activity going on in the accountancy market in the next 12 months. And the real challenge is going to be what you can do about this. What's your firm going to do to make sure that you are a leader in this diversification and introduction of business advisory services to your clients? Just to finish off on the CommBank report, and I do recommend that you read it, and you can find it on the internet, www.commbank Accounting Market Pulse, and download the May 2021 edition. It's interesting to note that the head of this unit within the Commonwealth Bank, Belinda Hegarty, made the following comment about attracting and developing talent, because I suspect this is one of the real challenges that all of our subscribers have, and in fact, all accountants have. It's attracting and developing your own talent. Belinda Hegarty said, in an environment where firms are expanding their capabilities amid changing client needs, leading firms are employing a range of initiatives to both motivate and reward staff while strengthening their capabilities. Very interesting comment that Belinda Hegarty has made, and one that I would commend that you think about and discuss in your partners and leadership team meetings as to the allocation of services, the training of your team, and the attitude to them being involved in assisting clients with new products and services. I think it's very important that you pursue the role of developing champions for a range of the business advisory services so that your team members have some real ownership in this game, that they are supplying services that are interesting, challenging, and hopefully exciting for them. And they will be learning new commercial skills, which the younger generations look at very seriously. And I think we all need to adopt the same attitude. You need to have these skill development training programs and diversified clients activities to help retain your current team and also to be attractive to young graduates and experienced graduates to be able to join your firms. So I put that to you as to what I think you should be looking at doing. I'm just going to go back to the PowerPoint slide so I can get my mouse to do what it's supposed to do. So the big challenge out of all what we just discussed, I think, is what does all this mean for your accounting firm? What can you do to ensure that you are diversifying services and you are offering business advisory services to your clients? So now I want to turn to some of the issues that I think might be affecting you in the delivery of business advisory services. The first item is the team training that you are implementing to ensure that your team members are familiar with the challenges. So I want to now go to and bring up the members area of ESS BIZTOOls. Hopefully you are familiar with this, but if you're not familiar because you rarely get involved in this sort of area, let me just show you. These are the individual products that are available to our gold subscribers, and some of these products are available to other subscribers. We have various product packages, and they're a combination of these normal products. And we've got some bundle packages, which includes the business advisory services starter package. We also have the sections and papers. It's about 500 papers there. We have members alert, which we send to you about 10 times a year. And we have ESS Biz Briefs, which are short commentaries on various aspects of the material within ESS BIZTOOls. What I want to show you now is the training package. just to remind you where it is, we have now made the training package an integral part of every product package that we produce. And there are 13 modules within the Business Advisory Services training area. Now, I've had some subscribers that told me they've worked through this in a day or so. But what I normally recommend is you allocate about an hour a week and have a staff training session, have someone act as the facilitator and work your way through the material. And then modify what we've written to suit the requirements of your firm. So you've got introduction to business advisory services, getting organized, offering business advisory, team training, leadership, marketing, review of the products that you're going to be promoting when you first start, or hopefully if you're already involved, what's the next sort of products you're going to look at bringing on. We've added some new products this year: research and development. Previous year, early stage innovation company. Previous year, we're about the same: crowdsource funding, equity raising. The use of the SME needs analysis, which I'm going to come back to in a moment. Selection of products to be offered by the product champions. I think it's very desirable that you have one of your team as your debtors expert, your debtors days outstanding, your debtors collection expert, and understands the activities needed to register a customer on the Personal Property Securities Register, so that he or she can communicate with your clients who are wanting their debtor systems reviewed. Selling business advisory services, just like we got marketing up here, there's no getting away from that you need to market and sell business advisory services. A lot of the clients don't realize that your accounting firm, who they've been going to for some time to have an annual set of accounts prepared and a tax return, can now advise them on debtors days outstanding, on a research and development system, on being a chief financial officer on a virtual basis. You need to have a communication with your clients for them to appreciate that you can now do those services. How you're going about implementing the business advisory services. If you're only starting on this, my suggestion is that you run a seminar or a webinar for a small group of clients, no more than 20 people at a time, because that way you can have some one-on-one discussions with them. And what you're doing is familiarizing themselves with the range of business advisory services that your firm can deliver, so that you can communicate one-on-one with them. And then we envisage that after that seminar or webinar, you make direct contact with them. Now, whether it's a one-on-one Zoom meeting, if your clients are living away or we're still caught in lockdowns, or you have face-to-face meetings, depends obviously where your office is and where your clients' premises are. But that's the training program that we've put in place to assist you to get a better understanding of the process. Now, my suggestion is if you get a new team member joins you, if you're already underway, and hopefully you are, with the delivery of business advisory services, that you have your new team members sit down and go through this material. So they're brought up to speed fairly quickly. They understand what's going on. Because delivering business advisory services is different to offering tax advice on an ongoing basis. So that's the material. The next item I wanted to talk about is communications. So I'm going to start with the SME needs analysis. I think this is the most important document that we have in ESS BIZTOOLS. So I'm bringing that up. Just bear with me while I just make sure it's in the right spot for you. So you should be able to see that now on your computer screen. The SME needs analysis basically has a series of items which we discuss and then raise some questions, or the whole thing's a question. The purpose is that you would sit down and have a cup of coffee with your client, talk to them about the issues that are confronting them in their business, and generally discuss the issues. Now, you can cut this document up a bit if you want to and only show certain segments of it to a particular client. But what I found in actual practice is sitting down and talking about departmental analysis and interpretations. I've had feedback asking why were all the P&L account, why were all the activities in one P&L account? I don't like that. And I try to make sure that any firms that I'm working with, that we've dissected, if there's 4 business activities within a business, well, let's have 4 P&L accounts. At the end of the financial year, it can all get consolidated again. So the tax office just get one consolidated P&L account. But for management purposes, I think it's very desirable that you make sure there are 4 separate P&L accounts, because there's probably 4 separate managers or supervisors or leading hands or whatever controlling those activities. And then you can have 4 separate key performance indicator reports that mean something to the recipients. And incidentally, you could have a discussion with the people who are receiving these financial accounts and the key performance indicator reports and make sure they understand them, make sure they understand the terminology, and be receptive to them making suggestions on changes. So I see the SME needs analysis, which our document is based on an original document prepared by Andrew Geddes about 30 years ago. And with Andrew's approval, we've modified it, added more to it, so as to give it to you as a tool that you can use. And I think this is a marketing tool, because this is a conversation piece to talk through with your clients. Over the years, I've handed this document to quite a number of clients, people I was consulting to, and said, how about you have this for a week? You sit down and think about it. Now, you've got to pick your client to a certain extent, but you know your clients, the good thinkers, the people that really have an understanding, and you'll be amazed what's come back. That's why we've got the comments column in there. That's for them to write or type some of their thoughts. And I've had people come back and say, what are our debtors days outstanding? Because they don't know. What should it be? And when we check, we found some horrible situations. One was 102 days. And once I got involved as a consultant with that firm, it was reduced to about 60 odd days, saved them a lot of money. Now, I'd like to get the 60 days down to 40 days, but that's a bit hard in their industry. I've had people ask about productivity percentages for their team members, all sorts of things. And at times they don't understand what they're currently getting. So I would really suggest that you look at the SME needs analysis as being an integral part of your marketing and communication tools to talk to your clients. And you could talk to your prospects on the same lines if you wished. The next item that I would like to just refer to, we're looking now at our marketing tools, is the Business Plus newsletter. Incidentally, I've just realised the 13th of August is the 200th edition of our Business Plus newsletter. Strangely, I got a message on LinkedIn a few days ago from a gentleman who was involved with us in the production of the first edition of Business Plus. So I've invited him to write an article to be included in the 200th edition. And the first edition was produced back in April 2006. So it's been going for 15 years, about 13 editions a year being produced. So that gives you an idea. Okay, so the reason I brought up the Business Plus newsletter for you is to indicate to you that when I write this material, I'm viewing it as a marketing tool for you, or a communication tool. It's you communicating with your clients. Therefore, I try to be very careful with some of the language. I don't fully say what I think at times, because I'm aware that you are rebadging this and sending this to your clients. So I don't want to start any disputes between you and your clients as to how we word some of these things. So we don't say much about politics. We don't say much about the various governments, because that's not right. That's not the way we write it. But these articles are meant to be a marketing tool for you, because they are conveying to your clients some of the services that you offer. And what I suggest is you go through each of these newsletters, and 3 or 4 days after you've sent them to your clients, make a telephone call or a Zoom call to the clients who you think might be interested in some of these items, and start the conversation. Because a lot of them don't realize that you are able to assist them in these areas. So we've got here an article on research and development assisted by government grants. We've got an article then on crowdsourced funding equity raising. I'm a great fan of crowdsourced funding. That's why we developed the material, the package that's in our system. It's there for gold subscribers and silver subscribers. And if other subscribers with the starter package want to upgrade, you can do so. So there's some discussion there about crowdsourced funding. You might have a client contact you. You know it's there, so you can talk to them. The business planning process. I really believe every business should be in the process of preparing a business plan for this new financial year, or has already done so, hopefully with your input. Predictive accounting identifies the financial picture. This is a concept that we're now part of with Plan Guru, who have a fantastic software product that's now available in 52 countries around the world. With Paul Barnaby, who's a very experienced chartered accountant who heads up Beyond Accounting Technologies, and ourselves at ESS BIZTOOLS, to ensure that the three-way financial forecasts all interlink, and that you get some real value out of this product, and that therefore you're communicating about preparing budgets and cash flow forecasts using the predictive accounting formulas to your clients. Hopefully you get some work out of it. The next one was looking at virtual chief financial officer services. I hope you get phone calls from clients saying, well, how can this be utilized within my business? Because that's the opening you need to be able to have a conversation with them. Scaling up. There are thousands of companies around Australia looking seriously at scaling up. Some of them could be your clients. Scaling up requires them to seriously look at how they're going to grow their businesses. Their turnovers today might be $1 million. And they say to themselves, or they say to you, hopefully, they envisage having a 5 million turnover in 3 years. Wow. How are they going to control that? Have they got a leadership team? And is the leadership team trained and motivated? Have they got the rest of their team? Are they undertaking staff training? And do they understand the journey that the company's about to pursue? Have they established strategies for every aspect of their working environment? And have they identified how they are going to implement those strategies? And the last of the key objectives when we look at scaling up is, where's the money going to come from to finance this business expansion? Because as businesses grow, they need more money, don't they? Because they either spend it on premises or research and development or hiring new experts, or they find that as they grow, their debtors go up and their stock goes up. But because they're a new growth business, their creditors mightn't be allowed to go up because the creditors may have said, no, you've got to strictly keep to 14-day trading terms or 30-day trading terms. And if you don't pay, you won't get new supplies. Perhaps the target client is someone that's thinking about going into business. So we have an article for them, and we try to vary these articles, of course, so that the newsletter will have something in it for every one of your clients. So there's some comments there about starting a business or buying a business. So that's the reason that we view the Business Plus newsletter as being a key marketing tool for you. Key marketing tool for you, and a communication tool. And for your clients, it's an education resource. They're looking at something and saying, hopefully they learned something, and they'll ask you some questions about it. So I don't have any questions. Thank you for being with us today. I hope this chat has helped you. We are committed to running a series like this for about 30 minutes every month. If you'd like to join us next time, please do so. We publish the dates of these sessions in Members Alert, and they're on our website. Thank you for your support of ESS BizTools and ESS BizGrants. And don't forget, if you have any questions, comments, or criticisms of anything to do with our products or business advisory services in general, please send me an email, peter@essbiztools.com.au. Stay safe, especially if you're in one of those lockdown areas. And I look forward to talking to you in the not too distant future. Have a great day. Goodbye.